we have to reshape everything that we've ever learned about making money in the past. We have to reposition ourselves so that money falls on us. You have to be in front of the trends and not behind the trends. And unfortunately, just even during the boom times, most people waited until 2006, 2007 to get into the real estate market, and that's when the values, in 2006, they started to decline. So if you waited, because 2001, if you bought property, I mean, you might see your property value double within 5 years. If you bought it in 2006, it immediately began to decline. You know, and most people got into the game late. You know, a lot of that has to do with our fear and apprehension about taking chances. You know, we weren't raised that way. We were raised, go to school, get a good education so you can get a good job that's safe and secure so you can stay there for 20-something years, get a retirement package, Social Security, and you put money into that 401k so you have a little extra. And, you know, people realize now that pension plans were wiped out. If a company goes bankrupt, that money's gone. 401k values just were wiped out when the recession hit, you know. And so those old, and quite as it's kept, Social Security for most of us, by the time we're of age to collect, is not going to exist anymore. Or it'll be so small we won't recognize it. They're already talking about raising the age. It was designed, again, during a different time period where people didn't live that long. So you collect at 62, the average age was 65 when you passed. If people are living to 80, 85 now, there's no way that they can support that. And so everything we learned before has to change. Okay. You know, so, but it's a positive. Because with the innovations in transportation, communications, and technology, every single person has the ability to replicate what it took a mega corporation to do before. We have access, you know, and we have to stop thinking domestically. We have to start thinking globally. Yes. And when we realize that because of transportation, communication, technology, we have access to not only global suppliers, but global marketplaces, because there are emerging marketplaces around the world where people are going to need goods, services, supplies, and everything that we need here, where we have emerging countries in Asia where the middle-class population is going to be larger than the entire population of America, then it opens a door of opportunity for us if we position ourselves properly. You know, we have to, again, stop thinking small, too. It takes the exact same effort to do something small as it does to do something on a large scale. It's just putting the right plays in place. And so we have to look at strategic alliances. You know, the people that we join up with, and I'm not talking about permanent partners. I'm talking about on a job-by-job basis. I'm talking about outsourcing. And outsourcing is a dual thing, too. You know, sometimes, you know, we look at outsourcing as a negative thing because, again, we're looking at industrial age thinking. You know, and we say, you know, we should bring the steel plants back and we should bring the textile mills back, as if globalization was a bad thing because it took these jobs. Globalization created a whole new middle class in America. Globalization kept inflation down. And it allowed you to afford more things than you ever did before. If we brought the textile mill back, the price of everything would go up, which means your ability to purchase things goes down. There is nothing that most people wear that is made domestically. And because it's made inexpensively and imported, it allows you to have more. I remember when I was young, I didn't have a whole closet full of things. Because we couldn't afford those things, because the price was too high. And so now it allows us the ability to purchase more things. But outsourcing goes two ways. If the euro is 1.5 times the US dollar, you're a cheap source of labor for somebody in Europe. You have the ability to outsource your skills to somebody in Europe, and they'll hire you over somebody from Europe because you're a cheaper source of labor. But it takes a change in thinking. One is getting over our own arrogance, you know, and thinking that we're not the ones to be reached out to for outsourcing. But it's also understanding that, again, you have a global marketplace of people who need your goods and services. And again, placing yourself where they can reach you. You know, you can put yourself out on the internet and the world can see you. You know, so again, it's really a shift in the way we see the world. It's a shift in our own priorities. You know, that's really important to understand, too. You have to shift time, energy, money, or resources that we tend to put in the wrong places. We tend to focus on the things that matter little, really, to mask our inability to deal with the things that matter most.